Look, the other thing I'm getting at, this isn't Nan Madol, right? The explanation for these is that it's basalt. I'm not saying that it's not basalt, but what it looks like to me, this particular site, because there is no basalt formation around here either. It looks like petrified wood to me, does this? Yeah? And all this sand, what's all this sand? You've just seen how wide this mound is above the rest of the plateau, and I've shown you concrete when it erodes, it's either the line that runs out or the sand and forms a hard surface, but this just looks like petrified wood. People will come at me saying, no, I've seen petrified wood, it's got colours all over it. No, you're talking about something completely different, right? Again, you can't just throw a blanket over all this stuff. It looks structural, doesn't it? These pieces are broken, right? And they've got holes in them where you wouldn't, nail them into position. Well, you can't nail basalt into position, can you? When I was going to show you this site, I thought it was some store, when I thought that it might be wood, I thought it was some type of, where they'd just been storing a lot of firewood. Again, a lot of them have got these holes in. Well, that's not natural, is it? Basalt does not have these perfectly round holes here and there, and like it's been carved away. Yeah, like you build a structure. And even these areas here, right, you would carve that out and rest it on another piece of wood so it wouldn't move. And if you don't think it's petrified wood, I want you to have a look at this area here and explain those lines there, because that, I want you to look at that area there and explain those lines logically. And while you're at it, know that this guy is a professional geologist. And if he's correct, then everything that I've been pointing out to you is rubbish. So either this guy's talking out of his ass or I do. This is the site of Nan Madol, and again, I'm not quite sure what I am looking at. I am just putting the information out because indeed this could be built from basalt. They all could be. I'm just putting it out there for you. But this site is underwater, and mainstream archaeology will tell you that they collected these pieces of natural basalt and dropped them all in the ocean and formed a huge base for building this stuff up. And they were doing all this with feathers in their hair and loincloths. But what you see above ground now when you get up there, I mean, this is even only a small portion of what actually exists today. It is absolutely enormous and impossible. But I mean, is this even a collapsed structure? I mean, what are these pieces here? There's all this calcified and it all just looks like rock. Again, I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at, but I do know that this was not made by Fred Flintstone. I do know that much. This might be rock now, but it wasn't always rock. You can even see the framework to this. If you're going to inspect any of these images, I want you to come and look at this one and zoom in on this area. You can actually see, you can see through there, right? And it's like a triangle shape. There's one there, right? I want you to look at that line there and that. this was and you can see a rim around that. This was made out of some other material at one time, and it was some type of some wheel or some device. Why is it shaped like this now? Yeah, don't know. Did it once hold an axle? Yeah, and it would drive something. I don't know, but it wasn't always rock. I do know that much. I can say that for sure. But the area where they say they got the basalt does in fact look like a giant tree, like Devil's Island again. Devil's Tower, should I say. And when you look at this thing up close, it does in fact look like a petrified tree. It does, even to me. But they're still not the same shapes as the stuff that they say that's, you know, that they've been building that site with, Nan Madol. Anyway, I'll leave it in your hands, but what I will say is that you see these massive sections down here that are now broken, because they are now broken. Actually, all these were one huge piece at one time, huge logs. You can see where they once joined up, they've just eroded away slightly, so you can make up your mind whether they were transporting huge pieces of basalt like this around, dropping them in the ocean, yeah, or were they floating logs around from all the forest behind, and it's all become petrified from, you know, from being under the water, like stuff I've got into before. I'll leave it in your hands. Well, if you like that, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to help the channel moving forward, you can press on the link in a pinned comment, which will be in every video from now on. Thank you.